Hello and welcome back to another episode, everyone. Welcome to Geistal, Austria, the beautiful Bavarian Alps, as usual. And we are starting today with a fixed up Fendt. Yeah, I finally managed to get the tractor all pieced up together and it should be now ready for work. Oh, excuse me, gotta sneeze. Wow, that was an amazing sneeze. I wish you were here to experience it with me. Nah, I'm just kidding. In any case, yeah, the Fendt is all fixed and maintained. And I think I'm gonna put it straight to work with... Excuse me, gonna put it straight to work on the... Okay, yeah, good. I was under the impression that the hydraulics are bad. And I'm happy that the impression was wrong. In any case, we have to cultivate the field that we plowed up previously. So it's ready for seeding. And yeah, I can confirm that the steering linkage feels a lot better and a lot smoother on the Fendt since we replaced that broken one. Yeah, that was quite a thing. Alright, before we go there, I have to deliver a trailer of water to the cows, to the pasture, because I think they're running out. At least that's what the neighbor says that lives next to the pasture. Yeah, I have a deal that they come over and tell me if the cows need anything and if I'm not around to see it by myself. So I splurged out and I bought premium parts for the Fendt, and these should definitely last longer than the previous one had. I'm gonna try to be as careful as I can with using the tractor. Let's open it up and let's start the pump. For some reason it doesn't want to connect to the water point. Maybe I have to attach it at the rear. Alright, give me a second so I figure this out. Right, finally managed to top it up, and now we have a completely full tanker of water. Let's take that to the cow pasture. Anyway, as I've said, I've put premium parts into the Fendt, and I'm starting to think that this might be the way to go with all the tractors and the maintenance. When the time comes to repair some pieces of equipment, that it's better if we repair this with the premium parts instead repairing it with the original parts. Even though you'd think that the original parts would be, you know, the best fit for the machine, but I guess not. I guess every little micrometer of precision is needed in an environment like this. So if anybody's interested, this is another farm that's for sale here. It's actually a big sty. So yeah, if anybody has any wishes to farm in the Austrian Highlands, well, you know, you have a place here for yourself. Too fast. Much too quick. So nice to breathe fresh air. It's a little bit colder than it was. It's only 18 degrees. So it's much more manageable than the scorching 32 or whatever we had. 34. Alrighty, this is filling up, and they still have quite a lot of meadow to munch on, so we don't have to do anything about that in the near future. Okay, is this empty? It's completely empty, good. What I wanted to say is that if we have a bit of a look around, it seems like some of the cows have grown up. There's a lot less calves than it was when we brought them here. This time under that impression. And yeah, most of the ladies are pregnant and they're gonna give birth during the winters, so this is gonna be us having some milk ready to sell. Okay. Almost lost the tractor. Another blowout. Now the rear tire. I don't think we can get a break here. while it's slowly losing pressure. So I'm gonna make my best effort to bring it back to the farm, and I'm gonna see if I can actually patch it up. Thankfully we have an empty trailer now. That would be something else if we had to struggle with that too. I'm gonna do too much maneuvering with this tractor because it's not in a good state. So let's just detach the trailer over here and let's get it back in the workshop. I've called my brother Matthias in the meantime, and he's gonna give me a lift down so I can pick up the Mercedes, which is fixed. Oh man. But I'm kinda under the impression that this series is turning into breaking a tractor, picking up the other one that was just fixed, and then breaking that one, and picking the first one that was just fixed, and repeat. Yeah. Eat, sleep, fix, repeat. Eat, sleep, fix, repeat. Ugh, brother. Whoa, 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 whoa. Too far. Well, I don't know what else to say, but yeah. What a sorry sight. We just took it out. Alright, well, I'll wait for Matthias to take me down, and I'll see you in a second. Got dropped off by my brother, and now let's see what the maintenance log says. I'm kind of regretting I didn't put special parts on this too, performance parts or what they're called. But if we go into maintenance log, you can see that in the September, which is from yesterday until today, brake system was fixed, steering linkage was fixed, and wheel bearing, all original equipment manufacturer parts for 2,500. And the report says we got a quite high wear rate. Critical failure risk is 5%. Yikes. Huh. High engine failure risk. Bro. Brake efficiency only 30%. Bro. We got less than 100 horsepower. Yeah. Alright, so breakdowns, these are this, and conclusions. Active faults detected, standard repair of all active faults is recommended. We have done that. Signs of intensive overuse detected. Improve operating conditions. Well, we can't, because we live in the mountains. Elevated breakdown risk detected in the engine. Perform preventative maintenance to reduce the risk of failure. Wow. Preventive maintenance. It's gonna take a whole day if I do this. I can't afford it. Not just money-wise, but I can't afford it time-wise. Bro. I am speechless. I am completely speechless. Okay, the steering wheel is not pulling anymore, so that has been resolved, and the steering wheel is a lot lighter. Right, so I am aware that by the time you'll see this episode, another one's gonna be recorded. But still, let me know what would you do in a situation like this. Because it seems like the vehicles are not powerful enough for the area that we work in. I'm gonna put it to additional stress because we're gonna go cultivating today. The seeding probably doesn't really take much out of the engine, but thinking about it, that this tractor has lost 10 horsepower and it doesn't seem like we can replace them. Maybe with preventative service we could replace it, or restore them, better said. Yeah, I can see problems on the horizon. I don't know how Dad managed to do it. I got no idea. But part of the fun is also the problems we encounter and the way we find ways to solve them. But from the top of my head, I don't really know what else could solve the issue other than buying newer and more powerful equipment, or getting smaller implements. Considering the size of the fields we have, smaller implements, I don't really see myself doing that. I'll have to keep an eye out for some good deals on maybe some newer machines with a bit more power. Considering this one had 110 horsepower when it was new, and it has 100 horsepower now. I don't know. Consider my flabbers gassed. So I haven't figured out anything useful on the way. But I did check the used vehicles market and I have found something interesting. And I think I'm gonna jump on the opportunity while we have it, because it's a fairly good deal, I think. So before I go to the field, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, in the used vehicles I have found, well, there's this class, but no, this is not what I was talking about. There is a Fendt for 90,000 with 131 horsepower. It's a CVT tractor. It might be a good fit for the farm. But this was also not it. There is a class for 40 grand, which is also not it, but it's an interesting item here. If we go lower case, New Holland, 40 grand, 125 horsepower. But I think this one has a pretty poor turning circle, so nay. Though it's far, nay. But look at this. Massey Ferguson Beta 7360 AL4, 108,365. It's got 27.4 hours on it, 306 horsepower engine, CVT transmission, which is amazing. It's 2020 year of production, but the most important thing about this combine is that it has self-leveling mechanism. You can see these hydraulic pistons. They actually push or pull on the undercarriage until it's level, and I think the same should be at the front too. See? So this is... I want it. I want it. I want it. I think I'm gonna get it. I will call the shop so they put a reservation on it. We will get our old New Holland appraised. I believe it's gonna be... well, the price for our old New Holland isn't gonna be high. Let's just say it like that. And there's another thing that we need to buy. It's not enough to get just the combine, we gotta also get the header. And I've been thinking, there is a type of header named, well, brand Cressoni, I think this is how you pronounce it. And those are foldable headers. They actually fold in on themselves and you don't have to have a trailer. And you can go on the road with it without fear of being too wide, which I think would be a very nice thing here in these Alps, because if you think about it, we have a lot of steep hills, we have a lot of narrow roads, and the access road to our highest field over there is not made for a trailer, especially not one towed by a combine. And that header alone, I think, costs at least 20,000. And of course, there aren't any used ones available in this very moment. So I don't know. But I'll definitely make a call while we are on the field over here and make the reservation on that combine. And I don't know, maybe I'll even have a look around. But the thing is that if we get that combine, we are also gonna have to get a big service done on it, which means, because I was thinking of buying it and putting it straight to work, maybe for a neighbor, maybe a contract here or there. But thinking about it, it's probably gonna have to be serviced, since I doubt it was. Maybe I could make the deal with the vehicle shop so they service it for the price they require. Okay, can we go 10? We can. Perfect. Yeah, this is the perfect ratio. I want to have the engine spinning so it doesn't choke on itself. So yeah, the Combine. That would be a lovely deal. Well, I'll see you when all this is done. Alrighty, field is all cultivated and prepared for sowing. I just have to finish this headland and that's gonna be it. And I'm happy to announce that I have made a deal with the vehicle shop, since we are taking our tractors there to be fixed and everything else in that manner, that they are willing to cover the cost of the maintenance or service on the new Combine that we buy, and they will have the old New Holland appraised, and they're gonna account that into the price, or simply just pay out the difference or whatever they are willing to give us for the New Holland. I am counting to get around 20 grand for it, with the header included, of course. So both the Combine and the header together in a tandem, as they should be sold. And they will set us up with a Cressoni. Nothing major. I think it's gonna be 6 meter wide, because if we have longer header, it's just gonna give us some issues, because it's gonna demand more horsepower and it's not well adaptable for the hills and rolling valleys that we have over here. Alright, and this concludes the cultivating session. Beautiful. I think I have been taking good care of the Mercedes. I didn't push it past 80%. Well, here and there, but mostly not. And I also kept it in low range most of the time. So our next step is gonna be attaching the seeder to the tractor, setting up with winter wheat, and then putting it in the soil. After we're done with that, I'm gonna take probably in the beginning of October when there's the first growth stage. I'm gonna take the sprayer over it to give it enough fertilizer to start growing, and after all that is done, I think we can forget about it mostly until next year, unless I have to check that aspect, unless we have to provide some lime to adjust the pH of the soil. I am not completely sure on that part. But yeah, fun times ahead. There are some fun times ahead of us. And some big investments on the horizon. And if I'm able to get the combine sorted out before the month ends, we just might do a few contracts here and there. I gotta check what the local newspaper is all about, if there's anything in offer, if we can help in some way. If not, I'm not gonna rush about it. Get some speed. Very nice. Hey. And we didn't have a breakdown in the field, even though the engine is pretty poorly. But doing a full refurbish would cost us 27 for the Mercedes. I don't see ourselves paying that much money for that. Alright, then let's put the trailer away. Should be a treat with this tractor, because it turns like a forklift. I have been hearing some clanking noise while reversing. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like that or if there's anything wrong with the tractor. Again, I'm getting tired, boss. Alright. This garage is not truly optimized. I gotta move stuff left and right so I can access certain things. Maybe in a decade or so I'd have everything sorted out, but not yet. I don't know if you can hear, but there's a clanking sound. Gotta set the seeder for winter wheat. Alright, here we are. I'll manage it. I'll find a way. Ah. Yeah. So the New Holland is on its way out. Beautiful. This was a trick my father taught me, to point the forks downwards so you can see exactly where your fork is located. Alright, gotta put it for the front of the forks. Is it filling? Yes, it is. Perfect. Let's close this up so it doesn't get wet if it starts raining in the meantime. And this is going to be it for today. Thank you all for watching. Join us next time where we start putting some winter wheat in the ground. And when we possibly sell that and get a new combine. Oh, there's another thing I wanted to check. Stay with me for a second more. Yeah, that's what I thought. I went over to the excuse me, the words are slipping my mind, to the contract on the area, and as you can see we can do contracts for carrots, red beet and spinach. So no, we can't do any work with the new combine harvester. So yeah, this is gonna have to be it for today. Thank you all for watching. Hope you had fun, and see you next time when we continue with our extremely tough alpine adventure. Take care and goodbye.